Hello everyone, in this video we'll be looking at what is Scholar's Mate, what are some variations, and how to prevent it. Let's first begin with seeing the main line of Scholar's Mate. We have e4 by white, e5 by black, queen h5, already targeting the weak f7 pawn, knight c6, protecting the e5 pawn which the queen was attacking, bishop c4, adding another attacker to f7 and threatening checkmate. Black plays knight f6, trying to kick the queen out of h5, but that's a huge blunder because queen takes f7 is simply checkmate. Now, let's look at very common mistakes that beginners do. e4, e5, queen h5, attacking e5, and also f7. Knight f6, hoping to kick the queen out, but resulting in dropping a pawn and a check. Now, the best move here is bishop e7, because black is preparing to castle, and it is sometimes considered for white to not be better than black, because black has a knight developed and is ready to castle, while white has made 3 queen moves, and black can easily gain a tempo by playing knight c6. Let's see another variation of Scholar's Mate. e4, e5, and queen f3, still attacking the weak f7 pawn. Knight c6, developing a knight, basic opening principle. Bishop c4, adding another attacker to f7. And knight d4, hoping to kick the queen out of f3. But queen takes f7 is simply checkmate. Now, let's look at some defenses you can use against the queen h5 Scholar's Mate. e4, e5, queen h5, knight c6, bishop c4, threatening checkmate. Now here, the absolute best move is g6, because it kicks out the queen, and it's being attacked, and it also prevents queen takes f7 checkmate. Now let's say the player is really aggressive, and they play queen f3, still threatening checkmate. You can play knight f6, blocking the checkmate, and now let's say they play g4, preparing g5 to kick out the knight and make checkmate. Queen e7 completely solves the problem, because after g5, knight h5 and queen takes f7 is a really bad move, because it results in dropping your bishop like this. Now let's look more closely at the queen to f3 Scholar's Mate. e4, e5, queen f3, knight c6, bishop c4, threatening checkmate on f7, knight f6, blocking the checkmate. Now, here, most people will give up on Scholar's Mate, knowing that black is an experienced player and knows how to block Scholar's Mate. But some really aggressive players might play g4, preparing for g5, kicking in the knight out of its place, and taking on f7, and that's checkmate. Now, if black is really that silly and they play some basic opening principle move like bishop c5, g5 is the most forcing move here, and either they're going to lose a knight or they're going to get checkmated. Now, let's say that the player you're playing against is really aggressive, and they do play g4. The best defense you can use against this is h6, because if they play h4, preparing for g5, queen e7 is protecting f7. So even if g5 were to happen, you simply take. Now after the pawns are taken, if rook takes on h1, the best move is to take back with your queen. But here, when the rook takes, if you take the knight, thinking that, aha, I'm gonna take your queen, what are you gonna do? Here, black can simply play rook takes on g1 check. Best boom here is bishop f1, and the queen will simply gobble up the pawn. And here, black is completely destroying white. So, yes, this is a very good defense, but this was a very deep analysis. It does not mean that this will definitely happen. So, given that, you probably noticed that there's much more different variations you can have. So, if you notice something that's not in this video, leave it in the comments and I'll analyze and let you know. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and like.